folks. I am still on Highway 90. Huh, that's going to be a while. At least there's very limited traffic. Got a little cool with cloud cover, so I stopped and hooked up my heated stuff. I don't like getting cold. I hate the cold. Moving along pretty decent. I think I'm getting close to the, well, actually exit 18. I think maybe I'm in Montana. Yeah, I don't even know when I changed over. I never saw a sign. this must be Montana, but it looks kind of like Idaho. I'm riding on the end run of my tires, at least the rear, and I'm hoping I can make it another, I don't know what I've got left, maybe 1,500 miles or more, probably closer to 2,000. But I may just end up having to change. I'm gonna take a look and see if I find somebody that got tires along the way. I'd like to nurse this thing home, but the center of it is pretty much gone. It's the Midas 07 Plus, the newest version of the Midas 07, but man, the wear has not been great. It's been pretty much gone for 600 to 800 miles, and I've only had it on since right before I crossed the border into Canada. And I think maybe 4,000 miles. K-Rows I took off, the Metzler K-Row 3 or K-Row 2 is I think had better wear. I took them off thinking I would get better results with this so that I could run through the trip, but it hasn't been the case. For most of this trip home, I'd just soon have some road tires. Sun going in and out of the clouds continuously really messes with my eyes. Open my helmet, scratch my nose. Keeps itching. Well, if I was lucky enough to be able to do the Dempster again or something like it, I would definitely do a more aggressive front tire. Maybe the TKC 80. mud that we ran into, and then the pebble, I guess you'd call it pebble, but it was very deep, kind of gravel. On the upper portion of the Dempster Highway, and it was kind of like riding in sand, but not quite. But my front tire could have absolutely been better. The one thing I wasn't able to do on that portion of the road where it was the worst was stand up. It was so cold. I just can't stand up if I'm cold. I get that much more blast of cold air, and I become non-functional. Hands hurt, so I had to sit, and as cold as I was trying to be tucked in, which was the wrong way to be. Still survived, and it was a good run. Being that this is my first adventure, or adventure ride, I've had some adventures in my life, believe me, but first adventure ride, the Africa Twin has been exceptionally good. My packing, I'm going to work with that, because I'm going to do some more running around like this. But my packing is a little bit off still. Right now I'm pretty good. But this setup with the Krega bags just doesn't work well. You can't get at the bags and easily. I'd rather have, I think, a hard bag. And I've got a good set of hard bags, but I don't think they're quite big enough. Need something a little larger. I'm gonna talk to Acme Moto when I get back about his bags, to see if he's gonna maybe make something a little bit deeper and longer. They don't need to be wider, well, wider left to right. They need to be longer front to rear, a couple of inches, and 3 inches longer, 2 to 3 inches deeper, you know, top to bottom, would really make them perfect for me. On this interstate stuff like I'm on, I should be doing 75, 80 miles an hour, but that's kind of out of my system nowadays. I still like to cruise between 60 and 70. So I can keep an eye on the sights. And like I said, if I was on a street tire, then it would be a lot more comfortable riding. I still, you know, don't trust laying over into a hard turn with a semi-knobby. Although they, you know, they've gotten a lot better. Man, this road is really bumpy. shatter type bumps. Now I've got the duffel bag that I've got on the back is from Moscow Moto. I believe it's the 60 liter. The bag overall is effective. I don't know that I'd call it efficient. It also, one of the molly loops tore out. And I haven't even used them, so that kind of pisses me off for the price of this thing. I need to play with it a little bit for a strapping system that goes more quickly. Guys I was with had Moscow Moto side bags, and in some respect they work pretty good because of the being able to just take the whole bag off with one big, just disconnect the backing plate, and then it just comes off. Where these are a loop system that's really a bitch. It looks easy when they show it on the TV, or on the YouTube or what have you, but it ain't. Especially if you get 30, 40 pounds in it. Well, I probably don't have 40 pounds, but 30 pounds in it. Now I can make it a little bit more efficient. But because of my gas can that's mounted behind the mounting plate on the left side, it effectively reduces your ability to grab a hold of the loops that you hook the Craig pannier system with, and that's been kind of a bitch. Now I've left them on the bike for the last few weeks, even in motels, and nobody's fucked with them, but I try to find motels where I can park right in front of the door, so that helps. So I may be putting some of this stuff up for sale when I get back and getting into a different system. All depends on what I can find. Now before I left, I redid the suspension, and in my haste I put one of my seals in upside down, so it leaked on the way, or once I got up there in that rough stuff, it started to leak. So while I had some downtime in Merritt, I changed the seals, was able to finally get the green SKF seals, which is what I wanted in the first place. And I also added some fluid to it. I went with 5 weight, and I added, I made my level instead of 90 as the Ohlins suggest. I went with 85, and that has really made a difference. I'm surprised how 5 cc's could make that much difference. The dampening is just better all the way around. And I set it at the stock settings. I did 14 clicks of both compression and rebound, and I did 3 turns of preload, because this thing's pretty heavy with all the stuff that's on it. And boy, the front end really feels good. I would have liked to have felt it on the Dimster and seen what it was worked like up there. Now my heated clothing has been pretty good. The bike has handled it without issue. I've run with my driving lights on, my headlight with the high beam on, and my heated clothing going, and even at one point I had my heated pants on, and the whole thing going, because when we were going up there to the Dimster, it was 49 degrees. I never have had an issue with the electronics. The charging system, the battery, everything is held up really well. I will be putting a lithium battery in it just for the weight when I change batteries, but at home I keep it on a trickle charger, so it's the stock battery is held up really well. A lot of people have problems they stay in with their batteries. I don't know. I don't. I've got a few things that have definitely rusted. Drop link for the yoke for the brake, rear brake. That's one. I was trying to think of the others, and right offhand I can't think of a few other bolts or what have you that I found. But I have just as much issues with things like my crash bars from Alt-Rider. So, you know, the paint on them just flaked off like in big chunks. And that's supposed to be powder coated. So I can't fault Honda. Pay $600 for a damn set of crash bars, and within a month the paint chunks off in a 3-inch long, inch wide section, and it scratches just breathing on it hard. That ain't very good powder coating. My Camel fender, I've got the high fender from Camel Adventure, or ADV, has worked really well. The fender I put on was a genuine Honda XR 650 fender from around 2008, a larger fender, and it will catch you out if you get up to 100 miles an hour. You can get a speed wobble real quick. But as for protection wise, with throwing stuff at you and all, it's been really good. Now the low fender on the Honda, I took it off originally because of the mud in Louisiana is a clay, and it's just nasty. If you look back on one of my videos, I think I posted a thing where I was stuck in the mud, and you couldn't even turn the wheels. We had to drag the bike with a winch to get it out of the mud that it was in. All my Camel things have been good. I've got a couple of different items from him. I would have liked to have put his fuel tank on where it actually draws right from through the stock system, and I may yet do that. But I do have some money spent on the roto packs gas, and I also have a water tank container, roto packs. But that roto packs did save my ass a couple times. I ran out. A couple places I ran out I shouldn't have. One I failed, my own dumb. I failed to fill up when I saw a gas station because I thought about 6 or 8 miles ahead there would be, at the crossroads, the major intersection, there would be a gas station, and there wasn't. So then I was down to the nitty gritty, and I made it I had about 20 miles left to go to the next town, and I got so low that I got a no more countdown. It went to just blank, and so I pulled over and put it in. The other time, I don't know what happened. It was just a long way in between, and I remember I was fighting wind the whole time, and I had wind, and I got crap gas mileage, and it was up in the mountains. And then the last time I actually ran to where the motor started to cut out, and that was coming down the Dempster Highway, and I went up the Dempster Highway and did okay because I kept there's a spot where you start the Dempster to Eagle Plains. That's about 235 miles, and it is no fuel, no services of any kind. I made it up there with fuel to spare, but coming back down, I think I was just doing faster than the guys I was with were running quick. They just went ahead and put their extra gas in at a stop and took off like a bat out of hell. And for a while, because the road was so good, I got up to where I was doing 65 miles an hour and over. And then I realized what I was doing and backed it back down to 55, but I think it was too late. I ate up too much, and it was literally about 300 yards from the gas station to fill up at the bottom of the Dempster that I had to stop and put the gas in. The only tricky part about it was that it was all covered with mud and stuff, although dry, so I had to be real careful about knocking all that away and not getting any into the tank and all. I'm probably going to put in a aftermarket fuel filter into the, I've seen one that looks pretty efficient. Comes out of, I believe, Australia. I can't remember for sure, but I think I'm going to go ahead and probably do that, because when I get home, I'm going to have to strip this puppy to the ground practically in order to get all the dirt and mud build up and every other thing that this has had on it. So it's had a pretty good workout. definitely in Montana. Got the 80-mile-an-hour speed limit. About 57 miles to Missoula. Not sure if I'll make that or not on gas. Alright, y'all, I will talk at you. I'll be seeing you. Hi, folks. I just left Butte, Montana a little bit ago, and looking at some pretty ugly sky ahead. There's clear, but there's rain falling in between. I'm headed for Bozeman, and I think I'm going to call it an evening in Bozeman, especially if this rain kicks in. Got about a 70-mile ride to get to Bozeman, so I'm hoping I can do it quick. It's a little early to call it a day, but there's been some heavy storms around the area. There's towns around here are far and few, so it might just behoove me to make an early evening. I'm hoping I missed that, but I stopped to put my rain gear on just in case. Got these cheap frog togs I've been using because I lost the first day on the Dempster. I lost my better set of rain gear that I had just bought. I just bought a Coleman set at Walmart, and frog togs have lived. The venting in the back is starting to come apart, so but if they survive, that'll be good for whatever their price was. I don't even remember now. $20 or less, I think. Snow on the mountains around here, so I put the rain on because I don't know what I might run into. See, it's pretty dark all around me. Got this one area of sunshine. get the chance, I'm going to try to figure out. I saw at one time somebody making a adventure style jacket that had the rain coat portion of it on the outside, and that's what I'd really like to have, rather than something that gets wet on the outside and you get protected from the rain on the inside, because then you got a wet jacket to put on. Should have filled up in Bozeman and I didn't. I've got gas if I run out, but if I find a spot closer, I'll go ahead and fill up. Or not Bozeman, but wherever the hell I was. But Montana, that's where I was. Said there was gas at the next excuse me, at the next exit. But I don't know if they mean down the road 10 miles or right off the road, so I'll have to wait and see. Done 300 miles today, so it's not a total loss if I stop in Bozeman. None of that rain that's fallen has got me, but boy, it's coming. I don't know why these guys are watering. Now this looks like a big enough town to don't have to go too far off the road, I don't think. Okay, let me see what I run into up here. We'll get back to you.